Good morning and happy Friday. I'm Brian Phillips. Made time for a stroll at High Banks Park on Thursday. It had been a while. I was driving in there yesterday and I went all the way to the back and did the paved trail, which people also take bikes on. That was a mistake because there was far less shade than I remembered, but it was a nice stroll. I love that park. It's so big, right? I mean, once you get back in there, you go, I don't know how many acres it is. I suppose I could look it up. It's a lot of acres. So take that one in just off 23, as you're heading north towards Powell Road. There are several trails back there. And I remember the one trail I did when it was very cold out a few years back. There's eagles' nests right down by the river. And I'm sure they're still nesting down there, still roosting or what have you. So that's another thing you can do at High Banks Park. There you go. I'm Brian Phillips for High Banks Park. All right, let's see what's doing. In Oklahoma, an anti-government militia vandalizing TV weather radar stations because they believe those stations are being used to manipulate the weather. I got nothing. Let's move on. Paul McCartney coming to Nationwide Arena November 8th. Tickets on sale a week from today. Although my wife signed us up for some sort of lottery. I'll find the link and post it in the comments so you can do the same. I don't know what our odds are, but I will tell you this. The tickets are going to be very expensive. Suzanne Vega is 66 today. Peter Murphy from Bauhaus is 68. Giorgio Armani is 89. This day, 1804, Aaron Burr shoots Alexander Hamilton dead in a duel. Burr was vice president at the time and finished his term. I also wonder about Hamilton's ancestors. Could they sue for royalties for the hit Broadway show, which is actually running at the Ohio Theater through July 20th? I saw it the first run through the Ohio Theater a few years back. I just remember it was 10 degrees outside it. It's a great show if you haven't taken it in. Anyway, they probably owe his family some money. 1914, Babe Ruth makes his major league debut. He was a pitcher then for the Boston Red Sox. Went 7 innings, got a win against, well, of course, Cleveland. Who else? 1960, To Kill a Mockingbird, the book released. 1969, David Bowie released the single Space Oddity. 9 days later, Neil Armstrong would set foot on the moon. Timing is everything. 40 years ago today, Coca-Cola announced they were bringing back their original recipe as Classic Coke, but they continued to sell New Coke, which was an utter flop. The networks actually interrupted daytime programming to make this announcement. To live in a time where that is the biggest story. Wouldn't that be nice? Can we bring that back? Probably not. 11 years ago today, the last surviving original Ramone, Tommy Ramone, died. The new Superman movie is out today. My daughter Izzy loves these superhero movies. I can't keep them all straight. I mean, I'm aware of the story of Superman. Don't get me wrong. And it's like there's so many. It's too much. This is more my speed. You can catch the 41st anniversary screenings of This Is Spinal Tap in theaters. It looks like just through this weekend. And at the end of the screening, there's a trailer for the sequel, which comes out in September. I'm dying to see this movie. The original, This Is Spinal Tap, the funniest movie ever made, in my opinion. Sunday is the 40th anniversary of Live Aid, the massive two-country concert event to raise money for African famine relief. CNN airing a special Sunday night at 8. You probably won't see any of the Led Zeppelin reunion. The band was never happy with how they came off that day. Phil Collins was their drummer because, of course, the original Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham had died in 1980. And it was pointed out that Phil Collins could not play the song Rock and Roll, which they opened with. He couldn't play the drum part correctly. So it kind of went downhill from there. Their performance is on YouTube, so you can judge for yourself. It's National French Fry Day. The average American consumes 17 pounds of French fries a year. For some reason, just knowing that, it just grosses me out. I don't really eat that many fries a year, do I? I don't think so. Guess I got to start keeping track. Oops. An AI-powered McDonald's job site left the personal information of millions of applicants exposed. That's because the site's password for administrators is 123456. Good Lord. In other tech news, Elon Musk says his Grok bot litany of slurs the other night was the result of Grok being, quote, too eager to please, end quote. Please who? You, Elon? Probably you. Anyway, undaunted, Musk says Grok is being installed in Tesla cars next week. Guy down the street here in Westerville has one. I'll have to ask him if he has a choice or whether it's automatically going to be pushed into his car. You know, as Camper Van Beethoven put it in their classic song, Joe Stalin's Cadillac, can't go left in General Pinochet's Cadillac.
General Pinochet's Cadillac. General Pinochet's Cadillac. Can't go left in General Pinochet's Cadillac.
That's how my mind works. I just loose associate through life with songs. I can find a song for pretty much everything. New study indicates that monkeys prefer watching videos featuring their monkey friends as opposed to monkeys they don't know. I don't know what to do with this information. I'm sure it's important to someone. So there you go. If you have a pet monkey and you need to distract them, make sure you have videos of their friends, I guess is what we're saying. The Office spin-off, The Paper, debuting September 4th on Peacock. So it's behind the paywall. It's the feel of The Office, but it's a newspaper in Toledo, not the Toledo Blade. A fictitious paper, I think. There's a Scrubs revival coming. Zach Braff, Donald Faison, and Sarah Chalk are all returning, so that's good. Do you recall the Jack White show at Kimba Live? This was years ago, where everyone was required to put their phone in a lock bag. Well, Jack turned 50 the other day, and his wife bought him his first smartphone. I'm impressed he held out that long. What's going on this weekend? Well, if you miss Poodle Metal, Picktown Palooza is this weekend. I saw Soul Asylum at Picktown Palooza, but they're leaning all in on 80s style metal now. Tonight, it's some guy from the band White Lion, along with Black and Blue and Pretty Boy Floyd. Saturday, the band with the chainsaw guy Jackal, along with Trickster, Little Caesar, and Sabbath Nights. Sabbath Nights is drummer Vinny Apache's tribute to Dio-era Black Sabbath. Vinny was in the band at the time, you see. Man, it's got to suck to be that guy. Like, I was in Black Sabbath, and now I'm opening for Little Caesar, Trickster, and Jackal at something called Picktown Palooza. It's a living. Columbus Book Festival Saturday in the Main Branch Library. Westville Arts Festival. My finger paintings will not be on display as previously reported. Spike Drivers playing the Goodale Park Series Sunday at 12:30. Crew at Cincinnati for Hell is Real Part 2 Saturday. Looks like we could have Patrick Schulte back from injury. He has been training with the club. Reds beat the Marlins 6-0, home to the Colorado Rockies this weekend. If you haven't been following the Rockies, they are on pace to be the worst team since the 1899 Cleveland Spiders.
Fun times in Cleveland today. Cleveland.
Why is every story about ineptitude in sports somehow connected to Cleveland? It's amazing. Guardians rained out in Chicago, doubleheader with the White Sox beginning this afternoon. Clippers beat Louisville 6-4, home all weekend. Tonight, they call him Big Christmas. It's John Kinsey Noel bobblehead night for the first 1,000 fans. And former big league player and manager Lee Elia has died. Elia will forever be immortalized by his post-game rant in 1983. The Cubs were struggling, and the fans were letting them have it.
Because if they're the real Chicago fans, they can kiss my right downtown and print it. They're really, really behind you around here. My ass. What the am I supposed to do? Go out there and let my players get destroyed every day and be quiet about it? The mother don't even work. That's why they're out of game. They want to go out and get a job and find out what it's like to go out there and a living. 85% of the world's working. The other 15 come out here.
Classic. You're asking yourself, Brian, why did you bleep it? We're on the interwebs. There's no body to throw you in jail for playing profanity. I just think it's funnier when you bleep it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. If you need a new phone case, there's one that looks and feels like human skin and turns red under the sun. Are we sure it's not actual human skin? Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, once again, a person has been busted in their car for drugs, and the drugs were in a bag labeled, definitely not a bag of drugs. Nashua, New Hampshire, a 43-year-old man facing auto theft charges. He stole a car from a dealership and then returned that car and took a different one. Didn't like the first one, I guess. DeBerry, Florida. Someone needs to let kids know that in a place like Florida, and really anywhere in this country, it's a bad idea to do this. Namely, kicking people's doors late at night very loudly and then running away.
That's a good way to end up dead, especially in Florida. You gotta think you're about to become a victim of a home invasion robbery. Under the Castle Doctrine, you're gonna shoot first and ask questions later. You're endangering your future with this TikTok challenge.
Yeah, you keep doing that, someone's gonna shoot you. I don't have any doubt at all. Brisbane, Australia, police investigating after a man stole 53 shoes from a mall. The odd number is immaterial because he only stole right shoes. Was he seen hopping away from the scene? Maybe he only has a right leg. Did anyone check on that? Dublin, Ireland, his name is DJ Carey. He's known very well in that country for his career as a one-time hurling star. Not throwing up. Hurling is a traditional sport in Ireland. I don't think it gets played anywhere else, but it's a big deal there in Ireland. Anyway, Mr. Carey has been charged with faking cancer. You didn't see that coming, did you? Faking cancer to garner donations online for his care. The article includes a picture that Carey posted showing a tube up his nose, only that's not a tube, that's an iPhone charger cable. The end of that cable obscured by a piece of medical tape, but if you look carefully, you can go, that's no tube. Bluefield, New Hampshire, a lot going on here, a lot of moving parts, if you will. Police were called after a motorist was seen driving down the street in an RV, and there was a naked woman straddling him as he was driving. Took about a half a mile before police caught up, but eventually they did and pulled him over. By that time, the woman was behind the wheel. The man admitted that they were attempting to do it while he was driving. Both of them flunked field sobriety tests, and by the way, the RV was stolen. Oh. You know what? That's good enough for today, right? I can't top that one. So whatever you're doing this weekend, maybe you're getting out in the RV, just, use that as a cautionary tale. There is a line there somewhere. And also, make sure you lock it, lest someone take it from you. Have a tremendous weekend, and we'll talk again on Monday. Go Crew!